How do you recover after a breakup? This can be tough. Breakups are here to teach us something about ourselves. They are an ending. But in that ending, we feel pain, we're suffering. And we have to look after ourselves. We have to nurture our hearts. How do we do that? Well, firstly, we have to acknowledge that the breakup occurred. That's an important part of the grieving process, is being able to accept the circumstances as they are, because this helps us move through the grieving process. The next thing is that we need to feel our feelings. We have to have ourselves experience the flux of feelings that come through. We have to give ourselves permission to feel, permission to be in that breakup. Permission to feel angry towards ourselves, towards others. But it's not about hanging on to those feelings. It's about feeling them and not suppressing them. Because if we suppress them, they will come up, they will pop up and arise, and we won't be able to make a connection to them later on, a month later, 2 months later, 3 years later. They'll pop up in another relationship and we won't feel like we're complete. So breakups, they occur, of course, because, well, sometimes we're not meant to be long-term with someone. But we can always learn and grow from a breakup. So once we are feeling our feelings and we've felt our feelings, we have to make sure that during that process, we're creating space for ourselves. So we're not just emotionally processing consistently, because that can be too much and too overwhelming. But what is important is that we do look at creating space. What does that look like? Self-care. Make sure you're exercising. Make sure you're surrounding yourselves with people that you care about, that care about you. Make sure that there's light, play, fun in your day. It could be, again, playing games, hobbies, watching something interesting, reading a book, getting a massage, whatever it may be, getting some energy healing. Do something that is light and fun. Make sure you're laughing. Make sure you're engaged in life. Pick up a new hobby. So novelty is important. It will help spike dopamine, right? But we don't want to spike it too much too often. You don't want to get addicted to those highs and lows, but you want to incorporate lightness and fun in your life as you're moving through. Feel the blame and shame. If there is blame and shame coming towards yourself and towards others, make sure you have a professional, someone that can support you through that, because you don't want to be hanging on to that blame and shame. That means we're not learning and growing through the experience. So whilst breakups are tough, they are here to teach us something very deeply about our own soul's progression. Something about who we are and how we can be. Maybe it's going to shine a light on some wounding that we haven't addressed as yet. Childhood trauma, inner child wounding. Breakups are a tremendous pathway to evolution and growth. Relationships are, full stop. Breakups are part of a relationship, or part of having relationships in our lives. Sometimes we break up with friends because we see that our values aren't aligned anymore. Do your best to extract the wisdom from those relationships. What you learned, how you grew, how it made you a better person, how it made you more aware, what you contributed to that relationship, what you would like to do differently next time. Relationships aren't always easy, and they're not always hard either. And so we get to find our place in the world and in our own lives and what we truly desire. And we learn that sometimes through heartache, sometimes through joy, pleasure, connection to self and connection with others. Blessings, and I'll see you soon.